Coming up on June 6th at the Sheffield Arena in Sheffield, England, Dalton Smith will be making his first defense of the WBC World Super Lightweight title against highly ranked contender and former WBC World Super Lightweight champion Alberto Puello in a highly anticipated bout. Currently, Puello, the former champion, has a record of 24 wins, 1 loss, and 0 draws. 10 of his wins come by way of knockout, and he is 5 foot 9 inches with a 71-inch reach. On the other hand, Smith, the English fighter, has a record of 19 wins, 0 losses, and 0 draws. 14 of his wins come by way of knockout, and he is in his prime at 29 years old. And he is also 5 foot 9 inches. This is a very good fight. Now, right off the bat, I'll have to say that Puello does not deserve a world title shot necessarily yet. He should have had some type of comeback fight, but we are here, and this is a very good fight, so I'm still very happy about it. But Dalton Smith impressed me very much in his last outing against Matthias. Matthias seems to have lost his durability, but Smith was able to knock him out, and most especially Smith was able to take Matthias's shots in that fight. An individual who's known for being a very good power puncher. Now, Matthias, prior to the Smith fight, actually fought Puello and won the WBC World Super Lightweight Championship. Puello hopes to regain the championship he lost against Smith. It's a round robin. But I'm excited. So overall, I think Puello has slightly more championship experience. He got the WBC championship against Sandor Martin, or fought for it against Sandor Martin. And prior to this, Puello has fought a great amount of regional level fighters here and there. But Smith, on the other hand, has fought for many of the European type titles, the British titles, the Commonwealth, British, and eventually European titles, working his way up the world rankings to eventually fight for the world championship. Overall, Dalton Smith has shown to be a very versatile, durable, and powerful fighter. He is very strong, so in the clinch, he's able to kind of rough up fighters. And he showed against Matthias that he is very versatile. He has a very good chin, and he can take a punch. Puello, on the other hand, is known for being a complicated back foot fighter who gives many fighters a very tough fight. He beat Gary Antoine Russell, for example, by split decision, and he beat Sandor Martin, another very good fighter, by split decision. With this in mind, Puello has, in most of his career, given many fighters tough fights, where although he didn't win by knockout, he won by decision, and he made a very complicated-esque fight. This was shown in his Matthias fight. Matthias barely won this fight by majority decision, and there were many pundits who believed that Puello won this fight quite clearly. So with this in mind, Dalton Smith, I believe, is definitely not going to run through Puello in the slightest. Puello is going to provide a very tough test for Smith, and I commend Smith for taking another very difficult fight following a fight with Matthias. Now, Puello will be on the back foot, I believe, for most of the fight, and I think that Smith will lose a lot of the early rounds, maybe rounds 1 and 2. But overall, I think Smith will be able to weather the storm and catch Puello with a few good punches, a few power punches, and I think he'll be able to hurt Puello a little bit better than Matthias. I think Dalton Smith, based on his win over Matthias, shows that he's a little bit more versatile, as I have said, and he has a little bit more wrinkles to his game. He can be in a war, but I think he can also box very well. I think his skill level is very high, and he's been a scholar of the sport to a certain extent. With this in mind, I think Smith will have to bring out his best, like he did in the Matias fight, and kind of put everything together in his arsenal. He has to be somewhat of a boxer-puncher who's moving forward in this fight, something I think Smith is very capable of doing. With this in mind, Puello will present a few challenges, and I think there's going to be 1 or 2 swing rounds, and 1 or 2 rounds that go directly to Puello. But for my official prediction, I have Dalton Smith winning a 116-112 decision or a 115-113 decision in a close fight where I think Puello will give a very good account of himself and make the fight not rough, but complicated for Smith. But I think Smith will be able to weather that storm and come out on top to defend his championship belt. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Smith will take this fight? Do you think Puello will be able to regain his championship? Let me know. And this is Zachary Cloutier at Ringside.